If Brazil's agricultural sector were to stop for just 24 hours, the world would not only lose a single day of production, but the entire global food supply chain could be shaken almost instantly. This is an agricultural powerhouse worth more than $500 billion, where cattle herds outnumber the country's population. Soybean fields stretch all the way to the horizon, and endless streams of coffee, sugar, oranges, corn, and beef continuously flow into the global market. How did a nation transform dense rainforests, the once barren Cerrado Plateau, harsh savannas, and scorching dry seasons into such a massive agricultural machine? Join Agriculture Insight as we explore Brazil's agricultural industry in today's video. To understand the power of Brazilian agriculture, you have to start with the country's remarkably contrasting landscape. In the north lies the Amazon, the largest rainforest on the planet, wet, dense, and constantly at the center of conservation debates. But in the central region, the Cerrado is an entirely different world. Vast plateaus and savannas with intense sunlight, long dry seasons, and acidic, nutrient-poor soils. There was once a time when this land was considered too harsh to become a center of modern agriculture. Yet Brazil changed everything through soil science, tropical crop varieties, liming, fertilizers, and large-scale mechanization. From these difficult-to-farm highlands, the country has built one of the world's largest soybean, corn, and livestock production regions. Brazil is not only the largest country in South America, but in many ways, it is truly an agricultural continent of its own. In Brazil's agricultural machine, soybeans are one of the largest gears, operating on a scale that ranks among the biggest on the planet. Every year, the country can harvest more than 170 million tons of soybeans, turning the fields of Mato Grosso, Goiás, and Paraná into a strategic source of supply for the global animal feed, vegetable oil, and agricultural commodity industries. Before planting, farmers must improve the soil with lime, apply fertilizers, and select tropical soybean varieties that can adapt well to the harsh climate and short growing season. When the planting season begins, GPS-guided seeders move across fields covering thousands of hectares, placing every seed into the ground with precise spacing. Throughout the growing process, drones, sensors, and satellite imagery help monitor soil moisture, pests, diseases, and the nutritional condition of the crops. When harvest season arrives, extra-wide combine harvesters roll into the golden sea of soybeans, cutting close to the ground, threshing and cleaning the beans, then transferring them directly into trucks driving alongside with almost no need to stop. From a region that was once considered the limit of agricultural development, Brazil has turned soybeans into a commodity capable of directly influencing the prices of meat, dairy products, and livestock feed around the world. If soybeans represent the power of mechanization across vast highlands, then ACAI is the unique opposite side of Brazilian agriculture, a farming industry that does not require clearing forests, but instead grows directly from the still intact Amazon rainforest. In the state of Pará, ACAI palm trees grow densely along the rivers, rising more than 20 meters above the hot, humid forest canopy. During each harvest season, local people do not use combine harvesters or massive trucks. Instead, they tie a loop of rope around their ankles, grip the palm trunk, and climb straight to the top to cut down each cluster of deep purple berries. The fruit itself is very small, with a thin layer of pulp surrounding a large seed, and within just a few hours after being picked, it begins to oxidize. As a result, it must be transported immediately to processing stations near the forest, where it is washed, pulped, and frozen. But the most important point is this: ACAI generates income while the trees remain standing in the forest. Brazil's agricultural journey now turns to a symbol that has defined the nation's identity for centuries: coffee. Brazil is currently the world's largest coffee producer, accounting for roughly 1/3 of global production. Across plantations covering thousands of hectares, coffee trees are planted in straight rows with carefully calculated spacing, allowing machinery to move efficiently throughout the growing season. During cultivation, many farms use climate sensors, soil mapping, water-saving irrigation systems, and satellite imagery to monitor moisture levels, crop health, pests, diseases, and the optimal time for harvesting. In some regions, drones are also used to spray crops, inspect the tree canopy, and detect areas experiencing heat stress before the damage spreads. When harvest season arrives, specialized coffee harvesters travel down each row of trees, using thousands of vibrating rods to create controlled oscillations that shake ripe cherries onto soft catching panels below. The cherries are then carried by conveyor belts into storage compartments, while onboard fans and vibrating screens remove leaves, small branches, and other debris directly inside the machine. After harvesting, the coffee is transported to drying yards, drying facilities, or mechanical dryers to carefully control its moisture content before milling and export. It is this combination of a tropical climate, enormous plantation scale, and precision technology that has enabled Brazil not only to grow coffee, but to all but dictate the rhythm of the global coffee market. Sugarcane is another pillar that demonstrates how Brazil does not simply produce food, but also turns agriculture into energy. The country is one of the world's largest sugarcane producers, with an annual output reaching hundreds of millions of tons, supplying raw materials for sugar, bioethanol, and even electricity generated from bagasse. Before planting, the soil is analyzed to determine its acidity, moisture, and nutrient content. Sugarcane planters then place seed cane cuttings into furrows at uniform intervals, allowing the crop to grow in straight rows and making mechanization more efficient. Throughout the growing cycle, which lasts for more than a year, farmers use yield maps, soil sensors, satellite imagery, and drones to monitor pests, water stress, and crop development across different parts of the field. When harvest season arrives, the old image of burning sugarcane fields is gradually being replaced by green cane harvesting. Large harvesters cut the stalks close to the ground, strip away the leaves, chop the cane into short billets, and transfer them onto trucks moving alongside, while the leaves and remaining residue are shredded and returned to the field to retain moisture and add organic matter. Thanks to mechanization, most of Brazil's sugarcane is now harvested without pre-harvest burning, reducing smoke pollution and improving operational efficiency. From the sugarcane fields to the ethanol plants, Brazil has transformed a tropical crop into the foundation of a global-scale bioenergy industry. After sugarcane, the story of Brazilian agriculture continues with a tree that once changed the course of industrial history: the rubber tree. Before rubber was cultivated on a large scale across Asia, the Amazon was the heart of the global natural rubber industry, where rubber trees grew scattered throughout the rainforest and produced the precious white latex. Unlike soybeans or sugarcane, which are cultivated in neatly organized fields, Brazil's rubber industry began with a form of agriculture that remained closely connected to the forest. Rubber tappers use knives to make thin cuts in the bark, deep enough for the latex to flow, but without damaging the trunk. The latex then drips slowly into small, collecting cups before being gathered, filtered, coagulated, and pressed into sheets or transported to factories for processing into raw rubber. What makes rubber unique is that the trees can be tapped for many years when properly managed, turning each tree into a renewable source of raw material. Today, although Brazil no longer dominates the global rubber market as it once did, the rubber tree still carries a very special significance. It recalls the era when the Amazon stood at the center of a worldwide economic boom, while also demonstrating that Brazilian agriculture has not only produced food, but has also supplied the raw materials for tires, machinery, medical equipment, and thousands of modern industrial products. If soybeans and sugarcane demonstrate Brazil's strength across vast mechanized fields, then cattle are the image most deeply rooted in the country's agricultural identity. Across grasslands so immense they seem to have no end, Brazil is home to one of the largest cattle herds in the world and holds a leading position in global beef exports. But what makes Brazil's cattle industry remarkable is not just its size, but the way it has transformed tropical grasslands into a massive production system. The Nelore breed, with its white coat, distinctive shoulder hump, and excellent heat tolerance, has become the symbol of Brazilian ranches because it adapts exceptionally well to harsh climates, parasites, and extensive grazing conditions. Rather than relying entirely on natural grazing, many ranches now use satellite-based pasture management, rotational grazing systems, pasture improvement, mineral supplementation, and data-driven weight monitoring. In more advanced operations, cattle raising is integrated with crop production through crop livestock systems. After a soybean or corn harvest, the land is used to grow pasture grass or crop residues are utilized as feed, increasing productivity on the same area of land. Some ranches have also adopted traceability systems, electronic tagging, and herd health monitoring to meet increasingly strict export requirements. As a result, cattle in Brazil are not simply livestock, but the symbol of an agricultural industry that is vast, controversial, and continually evolving to balance production, environmental concerns, and its position in the global beef market. Alongside its massive cattle herds, soybean fields, and sugarcane plantations, Brazil is also home to a very different kind of agriculture: Amazon ornamental fish. This is not an industry built around combine harvesters or vast fields, but one that depends on the dense river network and extraordinary biodiversity of the rainforest. In the Rio Negro basin, brightly colored species such as cardinal tetras, discus, and many other tropical fish have become an important source of income for riverside communities. Local people usually catch them using small nets, gentle traps, or simple hand tools to minimize injury to the fish, then sort them at collection points according to size, color, and overall condition. Fish that meet the required standards are transferred to holding tanks where oxygen levels, temperature, and water quality are carefully controlled before being transported to transit facilities. There they are quarantined, monitored, and prepared for export. What makes this industry unique is that its value lies not in volume, but in the life, color, and rarity of each individual fish. When managed sustainably, the ornamental fish trade can provide income for local communities without cutting down forests or turning rivers into industrial fish farms. For that reason, Brazil's ornamental fish industry is not just a small and colorful market, but also an interesting example of how the Amazon can generate economic value simply by preserving the integrity of its ecosystem. If the United States represents the classic model of mechanized agriculture across vast temperate plains, then Brazil is the bolder version of an agricultural superpower born from difficult land. In the United States, the strength of corn, soybeans, and livestock production was built on the Midwest, where fertile soils, a more stable climate, and farming systems developed over many generations. The fields of Iowa and Illinois have long been associated with giant harvesters, grain silos, and highly advanced transportation networks. Brazil, however, followed a different path. The country did not simply expand across naturally favorable land, but transformed the hot, dry Cerrado Plateau, with its acidic and nutrient-poor soils, into a global center for soybean, corn, and beef production. If American agriculture represents the power of stability, standardization, and industrial efficiency, then Brazilian agriculture stands out for its ability to reshape nature itself. Using soil science, tropical crop varieties, mechanization, and multiple cropping systems to turn land once considered the limit of cultivation into one of the world's new engines of food production. Brazil shows that modern agriculture does not depend solely on the land itself, but also on the way people transform, manage, and make use of nature. The country has turned many regions once considered the limits of cultivation into one of the world's largest centers of food production.